Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Archana and I'm a homeschooling mom of two boys aged 8 and 3. So today I want to take you guys along on a typical homeschool day with us. We've already had breakfast and my younger son is actually out in the park with my husband, and I'm upstairs in our homeschool space with my older son, and we're going to start with our morning basket and then move on to math and science. So no big deal, just a typical day, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. On most days, we start with our morning basket, and these are the ones we're currently reading. A book of states, and then we move on to a book about an important person, and currently we are reading about Abraham Lincoln from the Story of series. And then we do a page or two about nature from either our Nature Anatomy book or our DK Nature book. And then we learn a few words from this Storyteller's Illustrated Dictionary. And finally, to close out the morning basket, we read a few poems either from Shel Silverstein or this Random House book of poetry for children. Of course, my son is more fond of Shel Silverstein, but this is a really great collection of poems too. So we're starting off with our morning basket with my older son, and he has just completed a letter that he has written to his aunt, thanking her for a gift. What gift did she send you?
A printer.
Okay, so she sent him a printer.
But the real part hasn't come yet.
Okay, so we've received the cartridge and the paper, but the printer hasn't come yet. But he's still written a letter, and we are searching for some stamps. And I promised him that after we finish our morning basket, we will hunt for the stamps and put it in the outgoing mail. Okay, can you wait?
Of course.
So let's start with our states. California,
Sacramento,
Colorado,
Denver, Hartford,
okay.
Dover.
Delaware, Dover. Okay, right. Georgia, the peach state. Georgia is the peach state. Can you tell me what is the orange state?
Florida.
Okay. Stonewall Jackson, Jefferson Davis, and Robert E. Lee are carved on the face of Stonewall Mountain. Do you know any other mountain on which faces of people are carved?
Of course, Mount Rushmore.
Where is that?
South Dakota.
Okay. Okay. So what's the capital of Georgia? Atlanta.
Atlanta.
So we're done with states and we're moving on to our important person that we read about in our morning basket. And we are reading about Abraham Lincoln now. We're done with George Washington and Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, and we're moving on to Abraham Lincoln. And was Abraham Lincoln a short child?
Yeah, yes.
He was short?
No, he wasn't a short. But the tall boy wasn't one of Abraham Lincoln's nicknames.
What was one of Abraham Lincoln's nicknames?
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe, that's right. America was still a new country. Now, some people wanted to keep out any territory that allowed slavery. Others wanted to let each state make its own rules. Why was slavery such a point of contention between these states? Why did some states want slavery? Why did some states want to abolish slavery?
Because any higher than the Delaware thought slavery was wrong, and
You mean the northern states, right?
Yes.
They
Any
thought
state-
that slavery was wrong. Okay.
and Maryland was also not a slave state.
Okay, and what about the southern states like Georgia and Tennessee and South Carolina? Did they want slavery or no?
They wanted slavery
Why did they want slavery?
because they wanted people to do all the work,
And they would earn?
money.
Okay. So Abraham's parents believed that no one should be allowed to buy and sell another person. What do you think? Do you think it's right to buy and sell another person?
No,
So we're moving on to one thing from nature, from our Nature Anatomy
not
book.
this one. Actually, not no.
You don't want this one?
It's not this one.
Okay. Like so many other homeschooling
This one.
moms, I was also convinced about this book, and I really love this one. But my son always wants to pick something from this book. This is our DK books. This is also a really beautiful book. Okay, so what do you want to pick today?
What I want to pick today?
Okay. So today we are reading about the sundew. Midges and flies, beware! The sundew has a deadly secret, a taste for meat. The red hairs on its leaves look pretty, but they are traps. The more the poor insect wriggles, the more stuck it becomes. Finally, it dies. Can you give me a little narration of
Sundew
sundew?
plants are carnivorous. They have clear, sticky fluid that traps insects on them.
Okay.
And when an insect gets close, it traps the insect. It traps the insect inside the clear glue
Do you remember where they grow?
in wet area.
So we're done with nature and we're moving on to our storyteller's dictionary. We usually learn 1 or 2 words from here.
Actually, we learned 2 pages, which equals to 6 words.
6 words? Okay. So let's choose a couple of words. So the last aspect of our morning basket includes our poetry, and so we usually read from Shel Silverstein, but today I am going to pitch this book, our Random House book of poetry. How about we read that from here?
Not this one.
I mean, we can't always be reading from Shel Silverstein.
But Silverstein poems are so fun. They must be fun.
Okay, but we're going to read one from this also.
No. 1 second.
Okay, choose one.
You. I want to write a poem and send it in this letter. May I do it?
Okay.
Can
Yes.
you
Hold on.
actually clear
Okay,
it
one
up
second.
safely?
Okay, so we're done with our poetry bit as well. So that wraps up our morning basket. And as promised, I'm going to try and find a stamp for this letter that he has written to his aunt. And after that, we're going to continue with math and science and language.
But I want you to open it. I want to put a poem in it.
You want to write a poem in it?
Yes.
But we've already pasted it.
But try on pasting it. I have more envelopes.
Okay, I will only open this and waste this envelope if you are sure that you're going to write a poem. Are you going to really write a poem?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the nose, the net, and the new, just like it. I'd be with you. That flower.
So my son convinced me to tear open the envelope because he said he wanted to write a poem inspired by our little morning basket poetry, and he's going to put that in the envelope.
Look, I want to show you. Do you know the unknown flower? Let me just write a line here.
What is the poem about?
It's about finding an unknown flower.
It's about finding an unknown flower. Okay.
Do you know the unknown flower? She just ran by. For who gets it from the wrinkles of the road will get a few rewards. The unknown flower might be with you. That flower might be in sundew.
Okay, so you included sundew also.
Yes.
Are you going to put it in?
Yes.
All right. So we were not able to transition smoothly to math and English because my son here wanted to desperately post that letter that he wrote to his aunt, and we couldn't find a book of stamps at home. So we stopped by at the grocery store to pick up a book of stamps and also a thermometer that we are going to use for our science experiment later on today. So that's where we're at, and we're going to take a little lunch break and then move on to finishing up the rest of our homeschool day. are going to do science next, and today we are studying the alkali metals of the periodic table. So, do you know anything about the alkali metals?
Reactive, first column of the periodic table, likeliest to lose electrons.
They're most likely to lose electrons. Okay. Can you give me one example of any alkali metal that you know?
Cesium.
Cesium. Okay. Okay. Can you read some of the examples of the alkali
Lithium,
metals?
sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium.
Okay. So, do you know what this experiment is about? Okay.
It's about salt lowering the temperature of water.
So, can you tell us what we have in this dish right here?
We have water with lots and lots of ice in it.
Okay.
With a thermometer stuck in it.
That we picked up at the grocery store this morning. Okay, so we are going to measure the temperature of this water, this icy water right now. All right. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of salt, and then we're going to see if the temperature is colder or warmer.
All right.
So right now, the temperature is registering at
4 degrees Celsius.
4 degrees Celsius. Okay. So you ready to add the salt now?
Of course, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, now stick the thermometer back inside, and we have to wait for 30 seconds. Okay. So it's been about 30 seconds since we dissolved the salt in the water, right? So what is the temperature registering at?
2 degrees Celsius.
2 degrees Celsius. That's
2 degrees cooler than our original non-salted water.
The salt has actually cooled this water 2 more degrees, right?
Yes.
You remember this morning we studied about alkali metals, right? What alkali metal is present in table salt?
Sodium.
Sodium, right?
And also a halogen is present. That, my dear, is chlorine.
Okay, right. Sodium chloride. That's right. Okay. So sodium, is it reactive or non-reactive?
Reactive.
Extremely reactive,
Yes.
right? So upon touching water, what did the salt do?
What happened to the salt? The salt dissolved.
Dissolved immediately. Right?
It's because energy is needed to dissolve in things.
Yes, exactly. So that energy is obtained from the water, right?
Yes.
So that's why the water cooled down a couple of degrees.
Yes.
And now my son is really excited to take part in this out-school class that he's been waiting for. It's called, what's it called, Ishu?
How does computer work?
Okay, so it's called How Does a Computer Work? The Parts Inside. So while he is taking that out-school class, I'm going to have to engage my younger one.
On a computer, maybe?
But I can't see Mr. Salt.
I'm a fireman. I'm a fireman.
So while my older son is doing his out-school class, we are going to read until this one is sleepy enough to nap. So I recently discovered this bunch of books for little readers. It's called First Little Readers by Scholastic. I mean, they do have sentences, but he loves reading these books. They're very, very thin, and each box comes with about 25 little booklets. And it's just a basic intro, gentle introduction to reading. Okay, you ready to read? You ready to read? Look at this. The teeny tiny man. Look at this teeny tiny man. Have you ever seen a teeny tiny man before? You have? You have? This is a teeny tiny man. And this is his teeny tiny wife. So my son is done with his math, and I think I'm going to end the video right here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in another video really soon. Bye-bye.